Sky is so high, if you don't know how to fly, ain't feeling easier to make you fly. Sky is so high, if you don't know how to fly, ain't feeling easier to make you fly. Here we go.
Before I start the next lecture, I have an announcement to make. Uh, you guys for your assignment, you have to do an assignment for every topic that we study. So we finished three modules. Today will be doing the fourth. You're required to make a short presentation on whatever you have studied so far. You should be talking on the presentation, and you should be you select what important topics we have and what you have been taught and make a nice presentation. This is your homework and this is a must because you will not get your this unless assignments are complete. That is one of your course requirements. Also, this assignment has to be sent to our Fazil sir, and the best video will be they will do the editing and put the best video on their channel. So you need to first show yourself, introduce yourself, and then pick out a topic, any topic out of the module. You can do a presentation on all the topics together, and also individually you can do. He wants you basically to do it individually on every module. You can utilize any app. You can take pictures from any app. You can format the whole thing and make it look nice. That's your assignment for today. Tomorrow, next time when you come next week, we'll give you till Sunday, maybe Monday onwards. Also, sir will need your assignments. So all of you make sure that you do it. Am I clear? Got it? Yeah. So in your own way, whatever you think is important from your notes and from your book, from your PDF files, just select what is important. Introduce yourself. Start from the beginning. Start right from the airport, aviation, terminal building, whatever we learn. Put pictures, put videos, put whatever you want, and make it a nice thing. And show. I'll tell you whom to send it to. Sir will tell you, obviously, and then he will edit.
But we have to record our video as an assignment, or we have to present online here?
No, you record it. You have to send him the recording because the best video is going to put it on YouTube. But
how we are going to use the presentation in the video recording? Like we are going to put the laptop with us, something like that.
Yeah, you can put the laptop with us. I'll ask him to also tell you in detail how you're going to do it. But basically, at the end, when we take a break, I'll just talk to him and he will come. I'll ask him to join us and I will ask him to speak to us and then let us know. Okay? So in the break, I will let you. Krishna, the topic, you joined in late, right?
Yes. Yesterday, I only attended 1 hour class. Then anybody, I don't know who removed me.
Nobody removed you. You must have, done it yourself. Nobody removed you. Why would they remove you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then I'll tell him to excuse you, or you can do it later when all the modules are finished. You can do it on today's module what we are studying. Okay.
Okay.
So our today's module is dangerous goods which align. No, sorry. 1 minute. Just hold on a minute. Dangerous goods. One in the allied its terminology is DG. They say DG for short. What are dangerous goods? Dangerous. Please put your cameras on. Don't make me repeat every day, please. Those who can, those who have electricity issues, I excuse you, but otherwise put it on. Please, I like to see whom I'm speaking to. Okay, dangerous goods. I'll explain to you first, we'll read it later, I'll explain to you in short. Dangerous goods are those goods which are taken, transported by the airline for whatever purpose. It could be for, normally for retail, it could be for government issues, it could be medicinal reasons, scientific reasons. For many reasons, we transport dangerous goods. Dangerous goods, we have 9 categories of dangerous goods, each starting with the topmost, the most which can explode, which is called explosive. Just a minute. पाणी द्या जरा प्लीज. पाण्याची बॉटल द्या. पाण्याची बॉटल. Okay. So these are dangerous goods. What, like a simple thing like acid, paints, chemicals, all these are dangerous goods. Even your normal batteries are considered dangerous goods. Why? Because if they leak, they can come in contact with some wire and explode. It's a dangerous good. These are categories of dangerous goods. So please excuse me. So you have your books also ready? No. Don't write till I tell you. So dangerous goods, we have to study their regulations because the dangerous goods are packed in the aircraft in special containers, in special boxes meant particularly for those dangerous goods. They are to be transported in one condition without shaking. They are not supposed to be kept close to each other. They're supposed to be a distance. There is supposed to be a marking on the boxes saying these are dangerous goods, what category of dangerous goods. The United Nations allows us to carry these dangerous goods, but they have laid down certain rules and regulations for it which we must follow. We all, whether we are ground staff or whether we are flying crew, we all have to study this. As I told you, both ground staff and cabin crew have to give this exam. Why? Because by transportation we have maximum danger and to our lives and to the property. As you know, if you drop a little chemical or acid in your house or on the floor, what happens? Either two things can happen. One, fire, if it's hot. Second, smoke, fumes. The fumes could choke you, you could die. What you do? You open the window so you let the smell go out. In the aircraft, there is no chance of that. It gets into the air-conditioned duct. Smell has to go out. Smoke comes. If the smoke comes in a closed cabin, people are going to suffocate and die. So what must you do? For that, first you must know what is the dangerous good you are carrying. Where is it placed in the belly of the aircraft? Rear, front, mid, all this. So now, who handles this? The loaders who put in the baggage, they are the ones, the cargo people, the loader people, they are the ones who put these things in the aircraft. You as ground staff need to do the paperwork for that. For that you have to understand what type of dangerous good it is. When you go on board and hand over that paper to the cabin crew, to the pilot, first to the pilot, he has to know where it is kept, what is the degree of the danger that we can come across, where it is located, everything he has to know. So that paper goes to the pilot. You have to explain to him where it is kept. He in turn briefs the cabin crew and tells them that there is a dangerous good on board kept in the rear section of the aircraft. Please follow instructions. When he says please follow instructions, you have to open it. You are not required to study the entire book, but you have to open your book and see what is the harm going to happen. What happens is the cabin supervisor is briefed by the pilot. He or she in turn makes a note and says, this is the dangerous good we are carrying. It is located in the mid section, rear section, forward section of the aircraft, wherever it is. This is the possible harm to the damage it can cause to us, and this is your, in case you smell anything, in case you see anything, this is the action you would be doing. She would probably give you all these instructions, and give each galley she will paste it. I used to paste in each galley and say, these are the instructions, follow it. So all cabin crew know there is a dangerous good on board, and this is what I must do if this is the dangerous good. Okay. When the aircraft reaches its destination, when they are removing it, you can't remove it like any baggage and throw it. It is a dangerous good. It has to be removed properly, because there is danger to those people who are handling it. So they also have to know what kind of dangerous good, how to remove it, where it is kept, and what is the danger. They have to be ready with all the equipment, fire equipment, everything ready, so that in case there is a problem, they can put out the fire. In the aircraft there is a fire, we have extinguishers to put out the fire. We already know where it is kept before we take the flight. So we know what our action will be. So this is a dangerous goods to you. How the dangerous goods are packed in certain boxes. There are labels on those boxes. From the labels, we understand what type of dangerous good it is and what is the harm that will come to us. I will be showing you the listing labels and packages later, and how to understand it, the UN labeling system. So we will start right. I'll read, then you write. Dangerous goods are also called hazardous materials or hazmat. HAZMAT are solids. It could be solids, it could be liquids, it could be gases, which can harm people. No, I will tell you what to write. Which can harm people, living organizations, property, and environment. So it could be three types: solid, liquid, gaseous. We don't say gases, we say gaseous. Okay? There are chemicals. Hazmat teams are personnel specially trained to handle dangerous goods. There are teams who are specially made to handle it. You are not going to be handling it. The ground people or the cabin crew are not going to be handling it. You're going to do the paperwork, but you're going to understand what, how, and harmful it is. Dangerous goods also include materials which are radioactive. Flammable means can catch fire. Explosives explode. Corrosives means it can corrode, like your wires and all can catch and corrode. Oxidizing, asphyxiating means choking you. Biohazard, toxic. It could be it could be any hospital equipment, any hazardous equipment, pathogenic, and a cherry. Also included are physical conditions such as compressed gas, liquids, hot materials, including all goods such as materials and chemicals, and many different kinds of materials. I will give you the first question will be, what are dangerous goods? Right. Dangerous goods are those goods which can cause substantial damage to passenger and property. Sorry? Answer, dangerous goods are those goods. Instead of writing the whole form dangerous goods, just write DG. Dangerous goods are those goods which can cause substantial damage to passenger and property. Okay, next question. Do all dangerous goods have the same risk? Answer, no. The regulations divide dangerous goods into 9 classes. Reflecting the type of risk involved. The regulations divide dangerous goods into 9 classes, reflecting the type of risk involved. These, full stop. These classes are further subdivided into divisions to identify a particular risk. These classes are further subdivided to identify a particular risk. Subdivided into divisions to identify a particular risk. You want any spellings? You tell me.
Ma'am, the question is, do all dangerous goods
have the same risk? They don't have the same risk. Some are more riskier than the others. Okay? Next question. What are the classes of dangerous goods? There are 9 classes of dangerous goods. Write like this. Class 1, explosives. Class 2, this is class 1, 2, 3. I'm giving you in a line, okay?
Okay.
Class 2 will be gases. Class 3 will be flammable liquids, liquids that can catch fire, liquids, solids that can catch fire.
Okay, ma'am.
Just hold on, huh? Next one.
Ma'am, there's no test book for that.
Flammable liquids के बाद yeah. Next one. Right, continue the next line. Codes are assigned to each class / division to facilitate.
And once more.
Codes are
And code
assigned.
in, code please.
Codes are assigned. Sorry. Codes are assigned to each class / division to facilitate means allow. Facilitate recognition of dangerous goods.
Recognition.
Codes are assigned to each class / division to facilitate recognition of dangerous goods. Now you stop writing and listen.
Okay.
Dangerous goods are often indicated by diamond-shaped signage. I will be showing you the labels later. For now, you just listen. The colors, it's always in the shape of a diamond. The colors of each diamond has its own reference. Red will be for flammable, orange for explosible, like the fire. Non-flammable toxic gas will have green color. All these will have different colors. This color, the labeling and the coloring started in France. So you can write labeling started in France after World War II. France is where the diamond system of identification originated. France is where the diamond system of identification of DG identification, right, of DG identification originated.
We have to write.
Yeah, write down this important point. France is where the diamond system of DG identification originated. We must know that. Now stop writing. The risk of for these dangerous materials may require safety precautions. You have to take safety precautions. All of us have to take safety precautions for transport, for storage, and for disposal. Both. The ones who transport it, the ones who keep it, and the ones who carry it. There it's danger to all of the people. People who handle dangerous goods will often wear protective equipment, and metropolitan fire departments will have a response team specially trained to deal with accidents and spill. There could be two things. There could be accident, there could be fire, there could be corroding like of wires or of metals, and third thing, there could be spill like a chemical or a paint or a acid peroxide. If it spills, we are going to have fumes, smoke, fumes. And what happens with the fumes? In a closed AC cabin, it rises up. So all passengers are going to be coughing and fainting and everything. So we need to be very aware of that. Persons who come in contact with dangerous goods are often subject to monitoring or health surveillance to ensure their exposure does not exceed occupational exposure limits. Those who are handling dangerous goods have to see that their body does not exceed the minimum amount of exposure that they are supposed to have. Laws and regulations for use of hazardous materials may differ country to country, but mostly all the countries are aware of this. All the countries in the world, whichever airlines fly in this world, all have to follow the rules and regulations of dangerous goods set by the UN. Okay? So the UN recommendations on transport of dangerous goods forms the basis for most regional and national regulatory schemes. So UN decides, and almost all countries follow their regulations. International Civil Aviation Organization (ICAO) has developed regulations for air transport of hazardous materials based upon the UN model, but modified to accommodate unique aspects of air transport. It has been modified time again, but basically ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, the highest authority in airlines, have to follow the UN model for dangerous goods. Individual airlines and government associations to produce widely used IATA dangerous goods regulations. IATA, ICAO all follow, and we also follow them. International carriage of dangerous goods by rail is called dangerous goods are carried by air, by ship, and by railway. All three. Everybody also follows the regulations. I'll write it for you. Write this portion. International Maritime. Sorry, 1 minute. International Maritime Organization has developed their model of dangerous goods, of transport of dangerous goods, called IMDG. This is the ships. Maritime means transport by water. So the ships, they have their own code of regulations, which is called IMDG, International Maritime Dangerous Goods Regulations. International Maritime Dangerous Goods Regulations. Sorry?
Can you repeat the whole sentence?
Okay. International Maritime Organization has developed the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, which is IMDG, which I have given to you here, for transportation at sea. For transportation at sea safely. So their regulation is to transport at sea safely. We are doing the air part of it, but you must know what IMDG is. Second, international carriage of dangerous goods by rail. Code is international carriage of dangerous goods by rail. Is followed by the railways.
Ma'am, one doubt. What is RID?
That is the code for international dangerous of goods by rail. RID. Yeah, it's their code.
Thank you, ma'am.
So these two words you must know, RID and IMDG. One is maritime, one is rail. What we are doing is airline. Okay. Okay, stop writing. The classification of each dangerous goods and the labeling of chemicals is done globally by GHS, which is GHS, globally harmonized system. So the labeling and classification of DG are done by the GHS, the globally harmonized system, who does the common labeling for everybody. So who does the creates the rules and regulations? The topmost authority is UN, followed by ICAO, then ITA, sorry, not the top one. ITA. All these follow the dangerous goods regulations. Also,
Ma'am, who does the labeling and classification?
Labeling and classification is already decided by UN, and we have to follow the labeling and rules and regulations. The stickers are already, each airline has them, and the cargo department who packs the dangerous goods, the shippers who pack the dangerous goods, they are supposed to put the labels on their boxes. Anybody who is doing shipping of, there are various agents who do the shipping of dangerous goods. Anybody who does shipping of dangerous goods will have the boxes, the particular boxes and the particular labels with them. Okay. So now we will come with there are companies like DGI, Dangerous Good International Logistic Companies, who do the packing and labeling of these items. Okay, so we have 9 classes. We have already finished the 9 classes. We have subdivisions after that. First, write down subdivisions. Write down. Follow page 49. So they have given. Now just listen. Subdivisions. Subdivisions 1.1. Substances or articles which have mass explosion hazard, which can easily explode, will be 1.1. 1 will stand for the classification 1 of explosives. Subdivision will be 1.2, will be substances and articles which have projection hazard but not mass explosion. Means which can explode but not immediately. It may lead to explosion. Number 3. 1.3, substances or articles which have a fire hazard and either a minor blast or a minor projection. It may have a small blast, not a big blast. 1.4, substances and articles which are present but no significant hazard. only a small hazard in the event of an ignition. Ignition means lighting of fire. And initiation during transport could be, it may catch a small fire while transporting. So when you get a division of dangerous goods, one means explosive, class 1, explosive. If there is class 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 and 1.6, then the level of explosion is lesser. So you will know if on the box it's written 1.5. That means you know if there is explosive in that, but the 5 division is very insensitive subjects which have mass explosion hazard. Means it is an explosive, but it's not very sensitive. It's very insensitive. So that is the subdivision that is given to you on the boxes generally. Right now, you need to know classes. Subdivisions, you can later on check in your book what is the subdivision and what is the danger. Okay? Write the next question. Are all dangerous goods marked and labeled in some way? Are all dangerous goods marked and labeled in some way?
Are all DG
Marked, M-A-R-K-E-D, marked, marking होता है ना, marked and labeled in some way.
Okay.
Answer, yes, full stop. Packages containing DG are normally identified with specific markings.
packaging contain
Packages containing DG are normally identified with specific markings.
specific marking.
Sorry, with specific hazard labels. Hazard labels intended to alert you to the risk involved. To alert you to the risk involved. Correct marking and labeling, full stop, correct marking and labeling of DGs what happened now?
Ma'am, correct
What are-
marking.
Okay. Correct marking and labeling of
Ma'am,
DG.
correct.
Correct marking and labeling of DG packages is important
Ma'am, labeling of DG.
correct marking and labeling of DG is important and should What is Ashim Raju doing here? What is he doing?
And should.
Okay.
And
Ashim
And
Raju is
should.
presenting some
ma'am, important
and should follow the following Sorry, and should follow general purpose. My mistake. General purpose.
Hello,
I don't know what happened. Somebody is presenting. Who's presenting? Ashim Raju, you need to. Can anybody help me and tell me Ashim Raju is presenting, it says. Can you stop presenting? Okay. Okay. So what did I say? General purposes. Did you write general purposes? Yes or no? Okay. Number one.
General purpose.
Yeah. Number one.
General
Yes.
purpose.
Number one. Number one. They indicate the contents of the packet.
Yes.
They indicate the contents of the package. They indicate that the package second. They indicate that the packaging meets approved standards. Number three, they provide safe handling and storage information. Storage means keeping, where it is stored. Storage information. And number four, they indicate
Ma'am,
they indicate nature of
handling and this, ma'am, this one.
storage information. Got it? Storage information. I've written it.
Ma'am, they indicate.
And they indicate the nature of hazard. Full stop. Below you write, the shipper is responsible for correct marking and labeling of the packages. The shipper is responsible for the correct marking and labeling of the packages presented for transport.
Ma'am, the shipper is, ma'am,
Shipper is responsible
ma'am,
for
once more, the shippers are responsible.
the shipper is responsible for the correct marking and labeling of the packages. You write, that's enough. For presented for transport, I said it, but even if you don't write it, so.
And labeling.
And
labeling. So, ma'am.
and labeling of the packages.
And
Of the
labeling.
packages.
Okay.
Now hold on, don't write.
Okay. Ma'am, hello.
What can you see?
I come to you.
Okay, hold on now. Can you see my screen?
No, ma'am. It's somebody.
Yes, ma'am.
What can you see? You can see me or you can see labeling and packaging?
I am seeing a lady.
Lady. Okay, you're seeing a lady. I'm not able to share screen, right?
I think I am seeing it.
I'll try one. I'll try. You can't see the labels, right?
Yeah.
Can you see the labels?
Yeah.
Can you see the labeling? Shubham,
Yes,
can you
yes,
answer me? Somebody answer me. Somebody answer me.
Yes, I'm Marvin. But I'm sorry.
You can't see, is it? Can you see the... Okay, I'll try after the break, maybe. I'll try once more.
And I can see the screen.
What can you see on the screen?
Google
Meet.
Oh, you're seeing the Google Meet. You're not seeing the labeling one, no? Can you see this? Can you
Yes,
see
ma'am.
this now?
Yes.
What does it say? Section 4 identification, you can see?
Yes.
Identification and the
Okay.
date.
Okay. These are the boxes, generally. They have to have this sticker, means that it should kept in this position, it should not be kept turned around. These are the diamond shaped stickers which tell you your your class of dangerous goods. Here it shows shipper means the sender. He's sending from Italy. Consignee, it goes to Chicago, USA. UN ID number is 3101. This is the most important UN ID number. It says organic peroxide. Okay, so it is which class? Look at your notes and tell me which class.
Explosive.
That's right.
No, organic peroxides. I just gave it to you.
Class 5.
Class 5. Can you see here on small number 5? Put your mics off. There is a lot of sound. Yeah, can you see number 5 here where my cursor is? Here? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Very small it is, so I don't know how to zoom it. I do not know how to zoom it. So, okay. These, okay. Can you see this? Explosive will be like that, number 1. It will explode. Are you all seeing this label where my cursor is? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The explosive 1.4, meaning it's given in your book 1.4 division means it is an explosive. Orange color label is an explosive. Red is this thing for flammable gas. Green is non-toxic gas. This is oxidizing agent. So when it is an explosive, it's orange color, it's explosive. It's a number 1 category, class number 1, but it's 1.4 subdivision. 1.4 meaning subdivisions or articles which present no significant hazard, only a small hazard in the event of ignition means fire or initiation during transport, with any effects largely confined to the package. Means suppose there is a small fire or any such thing, some heat during transportation, it will burst inside the box only. It will not come out. So mainly it is not very hazardous for the people who are handling it. This is how these diamond shaped ones will show. Okay? Have you got You understood now? Anybody hasn't understood, please let me know. Yes, no, yes, no. Somebody tell me.
Can we check this after this class in the
Yeah, sure, you can check it. You can go and check it everywhere on Google. You just put dangerous goods labels and you will get it. Okay? You'll see the class. Yeah, you'll see all the classes. Corrosive is number 8. You have miscellaneous dangerous goods number 9. You have radioactive number 7. Toxic number 6. 5.2 organic peroxide with a subdivision of 2. You can see all this there. Just a minute, please. Sorry, just give me a minute. It's critical. Ashmi. So this is the dangerous goods. These are the boxes. As I told you, this was 5.2. Again, it is class 5, subdivision 2. UN number ID should be in this position. All the boxes will have this in all the positions. Should be kept away from sunlight. Largely should be kept away. All these things denote a different package. Toxic and here should be this. I don't know this label. I have to check it out. Here red again. Flammable liquid, flammable gas. It is this time. Flammable gas. Anything flammable is red color. These again labels were there, keep away from sunlight, this position up, and all these, we will be doing these labels later, okay? So now you got that part? These are how the labels go.
Yeah. After
Now
the class,
yes, yes.
hello ma'am. After
Yes.
the class, I check that on Google.
Yeah, you can search on Google. No problem, you can search, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Now I will be giving you examples of each class of on 1 second. Can you see this again? Or hold on a minute. Can you see this again?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yes, again.
Okay. I need to explain this to you on this box. You can see this symbol is up. You have to keep it in this condition, away from heat. Your classification, UN ID number. Just if you can draw this box, it's very important that you understand what's written. Just draw one square like this and just write UN ID number. Draw one diamond shaped sticker, 2 arrows, this, and write UN ID number, and I will tell you what else to write. Or you can take a picture and draw it later. Can you take a picture? Veena, can you answer me?
Yes, ma'am.
Take a picture, you draw it later. When you have the time, leave space for the drawing, and niche, I'm giving you below that, I'm giving you things right. Can you see this circle here?
Ma'am, we have to draw the whole box.
Yeah, you draw it later in after class. You draw the whole box. You draw as it is. Just take a picture for now, if you can. And can you see the symbol? Can you see the symbol?
Yes.
Draw,
Yes, ma'am.
below, leave some space for a box. Below, draw the same symbol and write United Nations packaging symbol. United Nations packaging symbol.
Ma'am, the screen is full.
United Nations packaging symbol, indicating that the package has been indicating that the package has been designed tested and manufactured according to United Nations specifications. You want me to repeat? United Nations packaging symbol indicating that the package has been designed, tested and manufactured according to United Nations specifications. Have you finished? Somebody please tell me. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now can you see 4G?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see 4G? Right, 4G, the packaging type code 4G indicates a fiberboard box. Fiberboard box. I'm spelling fiberboard. Fiberboard. Fiberboard box, meaning the box has to be made out of fiberboard. 4G indicates a fiberboard box.
Fiberboard.
Then you come to Y30. You saw that Y30. Write Y. Write Y.
Yeah.
The packaging group designator. The packaging group designator means whatever items can go into packaging Y, only those items can be put together. The packers will know it. You do not have to know, but you have to understand what's written on the box. The packaging group designator. Full stop. Y can be used for packing group 1 and 3. Y can be used for packing group, my mistake, 2 and 3. So packing group 2 and 3. It's written in Roman figures. 2 means 2 lines and 3 means 3 lines. In Roman you have to write. Y can be used for packaging group 2 and group 3. Did you finish? Have you finished? Okay.
Finished.
Now next to Y is 30. Write 30. Tells you the maximum allowed gross weight in kilograms of the package. Tells you the maximum allowed gross weight. Tells you the maximum allowed gross weight in kilograms of the package. Means it cannot take more than 30 kilos of weight in that box. You cannot put more than 30 kilos of weight in that box. Tells you maximum allowed gross weight in kilograms of the package. Then you come to S. S indicates the year in which I'm in class, I'll continue. That's 4. S indicates the package is used to contain solids.
Here in which
S indicates the package is used to contain solids.
Ma'am, you told something else with me.
What did I tell you? I told you number 10, right? Number 30, right?
It indicates the year which.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake then. I'm sorry, my brains are not functioning today. S indicates the package is used to contain solids.
Ma'am, if you could,
I'll repeat. Sorry, I can't hear you.
if
Ma'am, you
could,
should repeat.
See, I'll repeat everything first. The first one is UN packaging symbol. You got that? Indicating that the package is designed, tested and manufactured according to United Nations specifications. 4G. Packaging type code. 4G indicates fiber board box. Y. Packaging group designator. Y can be used for packaging group 2 and 3. Got it? 30. Maximum gross weight in kilograms. 30. S. Shows indicates the package is used to contain solids. I'm sorry, my mistake here. Indicates the package is used to contain solids.
okay.
20 लिखा है ना? This means
Okay.
shows the year in which package was manufactured. Okay. 20 meaning shows the year in which the package was manufactured.
20
Sir, back. Can you see this? 20 means the year in
20
which
means
20 the year in which the package was manufactured. The year in which the package was manufactured means this was manufactured this year. Can you see this word Serpac? Name, identification of the manufacturer. Shipper means the sender. The consignee is the person who receives it.
Package.
Serpac, that Serpac is the name or identification mark of the manufacturer. It can be any name. Here it is the manufacturer is Serpac. Okay?
Okay.
Ma'am, can you repeat what is the shipper?
Shipper is the one who sends the package. Consignee is the one who receives the package. It is being sent from Italy to USA. Now, I will be giving you two or three maximum examples of two or three examples. Consignee is the person who receives it. Okay, take examples. For your assignment, you will draw all the labels, diamond-shaped labels, color them, and as per the color and as per the classes, you will draw them. Okay? Did you get that?
Once more, please.
For your assignment,
Assignment.
you will draw all the 9 classes of labels, explosive, corrosive, of all the, and number them and the color, and there is a picture on top of that for explosives, for corrosives, for oxidize. You will draw the 9 labels. That's your assignment for the next class. Now, guys,
Okay.
class 1 explosives.
Hello, ma'am. I have a doubt.
Yeah.
That the assignment, where should I want to submit?
I'm not getting you, sorry.
Assignment, where should I want to submit?
You keep it. I will be checking the labels on the next. That is my assignment. That I will be checking next time you come for my class, and the presentation will be given to sir. Okay. Okay. We will just write two examples of this, and then we take a break. Okay? I will extend the class a little 15 minutes because I started 15 minutes late due to my internet problems. Class 1, explosive examples. I'll give you 2, max 3. Done. I'll write it and give you examples. First, these are the 3 examples of class 1. TNT, dynamite, torpedoes.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
What are the examples of class 1?
Sorry, these are the class 1, all 4 are the class 1 examples. Class 1 examples.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah. Yes.
Where should I-
Tell me.
Where should I submit the assignment?
The labeling assignment that I told you, you do it and you show it to me in the next class. I will tell you where to
In
send
any
it.
book, okay?
In any book.
any
That's for me. Yeah, that's for me. I'd like to see it, okay?
Okay.
And
Okay, ma'am.
that, so that you understand
Okay.
what it is, you will draw a diamond, you will color it the color that it is supposed to be colored, and write the picture on it and write the number. That's all. So that you understand it, okay?
Tomorrow.
Next week.
Tomorrow?
Next week. My next class is next Wednesday. Okay?
Okay.
So you got that?
Okay.
All these TNT,
Okay.
dynamite, torpedoes, fireworks, as 1. Now we come to class 2 examples. Gases. These are the 4 gases.
Hydrogen, nitrogen, helium.
Sorry?
Hydrogen, nitrogen, and helium. Are class 2
Butane,
examples.
hydrogen, nitrogen, helium. These are the 4 class 2 gases. Dangerous goods. Fire extinguisher we carry inside the cabin is also on a small scale, is also a dangerous good, but we have to carry it.
Class 3 is
This is class 2. I'm still class 2. Butane, hydrogen, nitrogen, helium, fire extinguishers. These all come in DG of flammable gases. it could catch. So fire extinguisher, though it's inside the aircraft, it's still a dangerous food. Then,
Ma'am,
yeah,
ma'am, one doubt.
Yeah.
How come fire extinguisher is dangerous in this category?
fire extinguisher, if it comes in contact with heat, can burst.
Okay.
It has a gas. It has a, though it's the gas. It is to put out the fire. Still, if it comes, it can burst. Okay. It has to be kept away from the fire. Class 3. Paints, alcohols, and petrols. 3 examples of class 3. Class 3. Paints, alcohol, petrol. Now we come to class 4. Matches.
Ma'am, matches involved in class 4.
Yeah, class 4 is matches, sulfur.
Ma'am, I didn't understand class 4 assembly.
Class 4 is flammable solids, means anything that is solid like sulfur powder or matches, or this is considered as flammable solids which can catch fire. Okay. One more example. Calcium carbide. Now I'm giving you class 5.
Ma'am,
Yeah. Class 5, you have bleaches, you have fertilizers.
Ma'am, class 5 is oxidizing substance.
Oxidizing substance, right? Yeah, so example is bleaches and fertilizers. Class 6. These are class 6. The second word is wrong spelling. It is arsenic. Second word is wrong. This is wrong. Arsenic. Class 7.
Please repeat because I don't. Someone me.
What should I repeat? What should I repeat? What should I repeat? Yes, Anthony, what do you want me to repeat?
No, ma'am.
I have written down class 7. All these are examples. Just 2 or 3 examples you need to know. You don't need to know all the examples. Any 2 or 3. Now coming to number 8. Yes, I can't hear you. Can you speak?
Master Rani.
Yes, cobalt. Isotopes are medical equipment for medical and industrial purposes. They use them. You can Google it. Thermometer is also a data and see what it is. This mercury. The mercury you carry in your thermometer. Class 9. Life rafts are equipments that we carry inside the aircraft. Sorry, excuse me. Inside the aircraft. So that also. Sorry. So these are your 9 divisions.
Yeah.
Okay. So he will be talking to you tomorrow regarding your assignment, and he will give you all the details what he wants done. Okay?
Not.
So the technical part of it, I am not very savvy. So he will give you the best possible to tell you how to do the presentation. As for my assignment is concerned, I want you to do the labeling and show me if you know how to do the labeling. Okay?
Next question.
Yeah, next question. You can show me, but I want it drawn as per this thing. You can Google if you like, no problem. Colors should be right, and markings and drawings should be right. That is
The colors and the labeling is there in the PDF?
it is there. It is there in the PDF, but the problem is that it is given in black and white. It's not there, so you may have to Google it. Okay. Also in the PDF, they have given you lots and lots of examples of DG class 1, class 2, class 3, all examples. You don't have to study it by heart, but you have to know it. So read it once. I have given you just 2, 3 important ones, but you have this thing, mark the 3 or 4 easy ones that you can remember and remember it. Okay? Couple of more things I would like to give you, which are just hold on a minute, and some things which are not there. So you also have to draw that box which I gave you, and that is how to recognize the specification markings. That will be your heading. Okay. Okay. Write the next question. What kind of labels might I see on DG packages? Answer: packages containing dangerous goods must have 2 types of labels. Number 1,
Not one shot.
what did I say? Read the line. Packages containing dangerous goods must have two types of labels. Sorry. Please excuse me for all the sneezes. Hazard labels, number 1, and number 2, handling labels. See, sometimes these things are not in your PDF. Whatever is not there and whatever is important, I give it to you. Okay? So these are the two labels which should be on the box. One is the hazard label telling you that the danger this box can cause you, which we saw was the 9 classifications, correct? Handling labels are those 2 arrows that you saw, which way the box should be handled and which should be kept away from the fire and which should, those are handling labels. So we are going to do handling labels now. Right, what is a handling label? What is a handling label? Certain DGs require special handling label. Certain DGs require special handling label in addition to hazard label. In addition to hazard label, because they need to be
in addition to
certain dangerous
in
goods.
addition to
I'm repeating. Certain dangerous goods require special handling labels in addition to hazard labels because
because
they need to be handled or loaded loaded in a particular manner. Number 1. I'll show you the label. Just write it for now. Magnetized material. If there is magnetized material in the box, they have to be careful because anything in the aircraft can be pulled by the magnet. So they have to be very, very careful. Second, cargo aircraft only means this particular shipment can only go in cargo aircraft, it cannot go in passenger aircraft.
Now I have a doubt.
Yes. Yes.
And that's the third one.
Third one is cryogenic liquid. It means refrigerated liquefied gas, the ones that go in your refrigerator. Those are liquefied gases.
RCL.
Yeah, RCL, cryogenic liquid gas. For that you need a separate packaging. It has to be written on. So RCL should be written on it. The next
Fourth one.
you want the you can write this there. Hold on a minute. I'll give you. You can write there. Cryogenic liquid is refrigerated liquefied gas. The fourth one will be package orientation label, which means the two arrows this side up. Just make two arrows on the side of it. Orientation label, a package orientation label. So how many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct? Correct or not correct? You got 4? Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
somebody answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, number 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Handling label for wheelchairs. Battery powered wheelchairs. Wheelchairs which run on batteries cannot be loaded inside the aircraft. The batteries are removed, and most of the time they are put in the baggage hold area because it is considered a dangerous goods if it is battery powered. It cannot go. So the next one, handling labels also, when they put it in the hold, they have to put a label on it. So this is one more handling sticker. Handling label for wheels of mobility aids means anybody having a sort of a battery powered walking stick to walk. You already saw the 6th one on that box, you remember? The sun, picture of the sun, and they said keep away from heat. Yeah, that was the one. So these are the 7 handling labels. Veena,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
tell me whether you can see this. Yeah, please tell me whether you can see this.
Ma'am.
Can you see?
Yes.
This is your magnetized material. This is for cargo aircrafts only. This is cryogenic liquefied gas. This is package orientation, this way up, this way up. This is keep away from heat. And this is radioactive material which is allowed by UN. These are the basic ones that you need. There will be many more others. You did not follow that right now. When you're doing your course, you'll probably be taught all of them in detail. Right now, the most important ones are this: magnetized, cargo aircraft only, cryogenic, this side up, radioactive, this thing, and keep away from heat. Okay? When you draw the assignment, I want you to draw as per colors. This is the picture. You will write flammable liquid, number 3. You don't have to go into subdivisions. All you need to do is number 1, explosive. Number 2, toxic gas. Number 3, flammable liquid. Number 4, dangerous when wet. So all this, and you write. Do this. Okay, that's your assignment. Got it? Yes or no?
Yeah. No.
Yes, ma'am. No. Once more.
Once more, please.
Okay. Okay.
Once more.
When you draw for your assignment, I would like you to draw these diamond shape. Color the right color: orange, green, red, blue, wherever it's supposed to be. Write the classes 1, 2, 3. You need not write the subdivisions. All you need is classes. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, whatever you want. You draw that. That your 9 classifications you have to draw. As well as I want you to do your handling labels also. Let me see if I can get handling labels pictures. So probably this is there. Draw the handling labels, only what I have taught you. That is enough for you. Okay. Away from heat, danger. Let me see a better picture for you. All okay? Yeah, you're okay, no?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, this is also this side up, waste. These are all handling factors. Yeah, see here. Do not drop, do not freeze, do not stack, put one on top of the other, do not tilt. Fragile means delicate. Handle with care, keep dry. When you see an umbrella, it means keep dry. Keep frozen. Do not freeze. Perishable, they put this label when there is food inside. Means if it's not taken out at the right time, it's going to get bad. Protect from heat. Caution, this side up. These are all the different types of handling labels which you will see. So these are handling, and those the diamond ones are hazard. The shape of this will be square or rectangular. Diamond will also hazard will always be diamond shape. Got it? Anything? Any doubt? Any
Yes,
doubts?
ma'am.
Anybody?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes.
There are 2 types of labels. One hazard label and 2
Handling label. Handling. See my cursor. Handling label. Hazard is the danger that it is going to cause, if there is a spillage, if there is a fire, that's the problems you're going to come across. Hazard, the danger. Hazard, the word hazard means danger. Danger. Handling is the way you have to handle the bomb. How to take it in what direction? Do you take it carefully? You can tilt it, you can't tilt it. You have to keep away from fire. It is very delicate. When there is glass items, they put this sticker on it. Fragile. Fragile means it's got glass. It will break. This means do not wet. This means do not wet it. It can break. This means handle with care. So all these have a meaning. So you have, but I've given you the most important ones. Only you need study only that. Okay. So these are your handling things. Give me another 5 minutes more. What do I?
Man, actually, I have a doubt regarding the course.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, I actually joined late now, so I actually missed my cabin crew management portion. So may I know when the next batch is starting tonight?
Veena, right? No, who's speaking to me?
Celsia.
I really cannot answer this question for you because I'm sure I don't know whether what course did you say? Airline management, cabin crew. I really don't know if somebody has started it. Is somebody doing it? Is somebody else doing the course? Somebody else is doing the course. Is any of you students doing airline management?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm also doing.
Okay. So who's taking your airline management?
Dipali ma'am.
Dipali ma'am. So you have to ask Dipali ma'am. Or you ask this question to the. You ask this question to. You ask this question to Fazil sir or Nargis ma'am. One of them will answer it for you. Because if I am there, I will teach you. If somebody else is taking the topic, then I can't speak for them. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. So you're
sorry, I'm not taking. No, I take all three. I take airline management, aviation management, and airport management. But whichever I've been asked to take. Right now, they've asked me to complete airport management. I don't know whether I will be taking the next.
Okay, ma'am.
So if anybody else is taking it, I have no idea.
Okay, ma'am.
Welcome. So these are basically, I've given you handling labels and given you the types of handling labels. The box that I asked you to draw the box right on top, specification marking. That is the heading. This is not there in your PDF. This would be the heading. And you draw the box and down you write whatever I told you to write, consignee, UN, this thing, just draw the pictures and that.
Ma'am, for the assignments, we will be taught.
Yes, you draw the box, you name all the things that you are supposed to know because you are supposed to be able to read when the time comes. If and when the time comes. If you are ground staff, you will need to
Ma'am, I have a doubt for the assignment. Two things have to go. First one is the
labels.
Yeah, 9 categories.
Hazard labels. Use the right word. Hazard labels are 9 categories. I've given you 7 of handling labels. You can draw. You can make more also. Handling 7 important ones. Those labels and this box. That's all. That is my assignment for next Wednesday. Okay. And a sir's assignment. Sir will tell you about that presentation. Okay. There is one more important thing is not here that we need to give you. hold on, I will check the books. In my notes. Okay, right. Heading. It's not there in the book, right? It means when you are done, then. The NOTOC is an essential document The NOTOC is an essential document for flight crew. Flight crew meaning captain. We are cabin crew, they are flight. Full stop. It is the source, it is the only source of information to assess the severity of an in-flight incident involving DG carried as cargo. To tell you the meaning, just try. I'll read again. Notification to captain, NOTOC, is essential document for flight crew, full stop. It is the only source of information to assess the severity of an in-flight incident involving dangerous goods carried as cargo. Have you written? Let me know, then I'll explain and then I'll let you go.
Yes, I've written.
Okay, NOTOC is a paper which the ground staff have to make. All who are working as ground staff, you have to make. This NOTOC gives all the details of the dangerous goods that we are going to carry on a passenger plane or a cargo plane. Captain may be a cargo plane pilot or he may be a commercial plane pilot. Both have to have a NOTOC because they don't know what is inside the aircraft. This paper gives them all the details of where it is kept, what it is, whether it's loaded in the mid of the cabin, rear of the cabin, or forward of the cabin, the UNID number, the class of dangerous goods we are carrying. Every possible detail is written, where it is going to, and who is the shipper, who is the one who is going to receive it. Everything, all this paper, all these details comes under a paper called NOTOC. For both cabin crew and ground staff, both are supposed to. This NOTOC is made by the ground staff and is handed over to the pilot. When the pilot reads it, he tells the cabin crew that where we have the dangerous goods located and what would be your action. If he doesn't tell you what would be action, you have to know what to be action. If it is something that could lead to a fire, something that could lead to smoke, you will have to take care of that part. You have to be ready for it. You'll have to keep going, taking rounds in the cabin so that to see that there is no smoke, no fire, any passenger feels suffocated, any smell, you have to keep asking if they are okay. You don't tell the passengers that there is a dangerous good. You never tell the passengers that. They will be very scared. You always keep quiet. Only make sure that when you go around, just see that there is no smell. You have to be very alert towards. Anthony, can you put your mic off? Anthony, put your mic off, please. You have to. Anthony, can you please put your mic off? Please put your mic off. Yeah, you have to take rounds in your cabin to check. You have to be very alert visually and by smell. You can smell anything, and then the action will be taught to you in your class when you join the airline. What you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to save the passengers from any smell, anything. That will be taught to you in your class. So for now, as per your question, all you need to know is what are dangerous goods, how they are boxed, how they are written, how they are labeled, how they are handled. The in-depth detailed study of dangerous goods will be done when you join the airline. You will be doing a course with them. So that is so NOTOC is a notice to captain, which you have to know. That is very important. That's not there in your books or right. Okay? Did you understand? Anybody not understood? You want me to repeat anything before I sign off? Are you all okay? Yeah. Any question? Anybody? Yes?
No questions, ma'am.
No questions? Okay. So end of session. Have a nice evening. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome everybody. Welcome. So do your assignments. Don't forget your assignments, and don't forget sir's assignment too. Please, he will get in touch with you tomorrow. He said. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.